Hello everyone, my name is Kenny Cormandy and I have the YouTube channel My Airgun Reviews, and today we're going to review a Gamo rifle. It's the Gamo Wildcat with their Whisper technology, a sound suppression system that supposedly decreases your noise by 52%. It has the Gamo IGT gas piston. It's claimed at 975 feet per second using the PBA platinum ammunition in 22 caliber. They claim it at 1350 feet per second in 177 caliber. Rifle carries a 1-year warranty. This gun weighs 5.64 pounds, very light. Has a 19.1 inch barrel. The barrel is polymer jacketed with their sound suppression system inside. The overall gun length is 44.5 inches. It has a blued receiver, a composite stock, which is very light. It's got a nice shape. It's got a very decent cheek piece and ventilated rubber butt pad that's a little stiff. You really don't notice that it's ventilated. It comes with Gamo's original plastic trigger. This is not a smooth action trigger. It is not a cat trigger. It's got a manual safety. Forward is fire, back is on safe. And it's got an 11mm dovetail scope mount. The scope comes with 2 scope rings. They've got dual mounting screws on the bottom. And the rear has a scope stop pin that goes into a hole in the receiver. They've got a single screw on each top cap. There is an adhesive in there to keep the scope from slipping. The scope is basically made of plastic. It's 4x32. Had to crank the eye relief piece out quite a ways to get a clear objective at 12 yards, and right as I was getting to the 12-yard mark, the reticle started to get a little blurry. So I found a fine line in there, so I had a fairly clear reticle and objective at 12 yards. At 10 yards, one or the other is going to be fuzzy. At 15 yards, they will both be clear. The scope worked for a cheap 4x32. It worked fairly well. I was able to get some good accurate shots in. As far as power goes, they claim the 975 feet per second with the PBA. They claim 17.8 foot-pounds muzzle energy. We did not have any PBA ammo, but using the RWS Hypermax, we got a high of 932.5 feet per second. You know, that pellet weighs 0.2 grains more than the platinum, but it actually developed a high of 19.12 foot-pounds of muzzle energy, and across the board the average muzzle energy was 18.68 for that pellet. That was the most powerful pellet. The RWS Hobbies had a low of 788.4, a high of 802.6, average of 796.3, so it's really 800 foot per second gas springer. They were a little more consistent, average just below 17 foot-pounds muzzle energy. I chose 5 more lead pellets for the muzzle energy test, and I had a difficult time going through the preliminary accuracy test to see which accurate pellets I could do, and there was over half a dozen. I settled on the Crosswind Hollow Point, H&N Field Target, JSB Exact Jumbo Heavy, H&N Barracuda Hunter Extreme, and the H&N Barracuda Match. Ran those 5 pellets through, and here I will put up the crony numbers right now and let you take a look at them, and you can see the muzzle energy and the extreme spread and standard deviation, and then we'll go from there. And you can see the Crosman Premier hollow points, they had the second most consistent pellet and the most muzzle energy of any of the lead pellets, averaging 17.13 foot-pounds muzzle energy and an extreme spread of 12.91, standard deviation of 5. And they were one of the most accurate pellets in the preliminary test, and the JSP Exact Jumbo Heavy was the other one that I used for the accuracy test. Had an extreme spread of 9.56, standard deviation 3.60, average muzzle energy of 16.3 foot-pounds muzzle energy. And so both pellets were very accurate, and the Crosman Premiers had the most muzzle energy. The JSP Exact, I think between the two tests, the JSP Exact Jumbo Heavies won the accuracy test. So before we go into the accuracy test, when I got this rifle and started sighting it in, I just grabbed a tin of Crosman Premier hollow points, you know, there's 500 in there, so I figured we'll just start lobbing them up there and get the scope sighted in. And it came in really quickly, and I was using a large shoot and see target, so I just put up some red dots on the black surface to, you know, finish sighting, and then I kept blowing them off the target right away. So I took a large shoot and see and I put it up there, and I put 8 red dots on there and played a little game called Let's Blow Up the Red Dots. And that was kind of fun, and I had only shot this thing 30 times before I did this, so I'll show you that real quick. This is like a 41-second clip. So that was actually kind of fun. So now I'm going to put up the actual on-screen target shoot, and then we'll come back. Okay, our first pellet will be the Crosman Premier Hollow Point 14.3 grain. Just for the record, I jerked that second shot. And our second pellet is going to be the JSP Match Exact Jumbo Heavy. I believe it's 18.13 grain. Well, we did okay with the Crosman Premier hollow points. This one was my fault, and the others are actually all in one line right here. It was a far bigger shot pattern than I got on my test fire. On my preliminary target shoot, this is the pattern with Crosman Premier hollow points. I dropped one down low with 4 through the same hole. And this is the JSP Exact Jumbo Heavy 18.13. That looks pretty much like my preliminary target shoot. 1 hole there and then 1 drop down low. This time I got them all in the same hole. So this rifle is very, very accurate. Yeah, as you can see, even though I did not do as good on the on-screen test with crosswind premieres, they were still pretty accurate. And you saw the preliminary test is very, very accurate, and the JSPs were very, very accurate in both tests. So I think the JSP Exec Jumbo Heavy is the clear winner, but the fact that it shoots the crosswind from her hollow point so well, and that they have the most energy, and you can buy them anywhere. You can buy them at Walmart, you can buy them at Dick's Sporting Goods, at Gander Mountain, Fleet Farm, Cabela's, Bass Pro Shops. Any place that sells pellet guns is going to have those pellets. You don't got to worry about hunting up expensive pellets online. They're the cheapest pellet and they're the best for this gun. So I'm very pleased about that. Like I said, the trigger worked well enough where I was able to get some really good groups in. I've still got a couple of air guns I got to review, maybe a total of 3 videos, and once I get them out of the way, then I will take a look at this trigger and see if we can do a little bit to shorten up that second stage a little bit. And if we can do that, this will be an excellent shooter. But overall, the gun is a pretty good value. It's most places online. I saw several at $119.99, including Amazon that has free shipping. A couple more at $129.99. Pyramid Air's got it for $139.99. And I bought this one from Bud's Gun Shop for $103 plus $11 shipping. Of course, it only shipped from Plymouth, Minnesota to Bloomington, Minnesota, which is a few miles. But that was an excellent deal. So just assuming you're going to probably get one from Amazon with free shipping is probably where you're going to do the best. That is a really good deal for this gun. It's pretty good muzzle energy. You're going to be knocking out squirrels and rabbits all day long. Not quite enough for a raccoon. You know, if you're a really good shot, you can kill a raccoon, but really, really good squirrel and rabbit getter. Good for crows. You know, I really don't have anything bad to say about the gun. It's rated at 30 pounds cocking effort. I measured this one 4 times. Everything between 32 and 34 pounds of cocking effort. 2 at 32, 1 33.5, and 1 at 34. So it's going to be just a little bit above the 30 pounds cocking effort, but not bad. Overall, like I say, you know, for the money, the gun's accurate. As far as noise goes, with crosswind premieres, 91.1 decibels, with the even heavier pellets down to 90.3 decibels. So it's pretty backyard friendly. It's not the quietest gun in the world, but it's definitely not you know, your pre-silencer type 104 decibels. You know, 90.3 or 91.1, you can shoot in the backyard all day long, I think. That's really about it for this gun. It's a really, really decent gun for that price. I don't know where else you're going to get a gun that shoots better. You know, it's light enough to carry around, it's easy enough to cock. It's accurate. You know, you do not have any open sights on this one. That's probably the only drawback, but 9 out of 10 people are probably going to use the scope anyway. So it's a good buy. It's a decent gun. And that's from my review of the Gamo Wildcat .22 caliber. Have fun shooting, and thank you for watching.